Hey, thank you very much for taking a few minutes out of your busy day to learn a little bit more about what I do here at Onvisor. In the next 5 minutes, I'll run you through the four most impactful illustrations and frameworks that I use every day with clients, helping them gain financial clarity and amplifying their financial results. After that, I'll run you through the couple of different options that I have to work together with clients, and then walk you through the next steps of anybody who's looking to work with me going forward. So, one of the first things I'm going to look at with new clients is what I call the wealth summit. So, if we consider building wealth just like summiting a large mountain, there are certain steps we want to take in order to ensure our best chances of success. So, one of the first things we're going to look at is look at cash flow. This is the equivalent of looking at a map to make sure we have the lay of the land and know what we have to work with going forward. The next step is financial security. Financial security is all about insurance, wills, power of attorneys. It's about controlling the uncontrollable. This would be the equivalent of building your base camp, having the right teammates and the gear in place so that if things don't go as planned when you're climbing, that you have backup, right? Step 3 in financial planning is about progress. It's about saving and investing and paying down debt. That's the equivalent of starting to climb and make your way up the mountain. Okay. It's the longest step, but it's the most powerful and the most empowering. Step 4 is reaching the summit. Now, everybody's summit is different. Not everybody wants to climb Mount Everest, just like not everybody wants to have intergenerational wealth. For some people, having a fully funded retirement is their summit. So I work with everybody as individuals because everybody has their own mountain to climb. The next one I like to introduce is called the Amplified Ascent. So this is a very simple 3-pillared approach to help people wrap their heads around retirement planning or reaching a financial goal. Now, think of your bottom 2 pillars as a pair of climbers. All right. They need each other in order to reach the summit. So the first pillar is your starting point. It is figuring out your personal net worth. Very simple exercise. After that, we start working with cash flow because your cash flow is the one making the progress. Think of that as the person leading the climb, breaking trail, right? So your cash flow is going to be used not only to increase your net worth and build wealth over time, but your cash flow also is related to your goal because how and what you're spending on right now will be reflected in a goal like retirement. So connecting all these 3 dots is pivotal to understanding how we're going to start calculating a goal, figuring out who's on track, and how we're going to get there. Next up, we have the capital strategy circuit. This is essentially an illustration showing you where your money can be at any given time, as well as what happens when money moves from one corner to another. So this is where we start explaining how the RRSP, the TFSA, a corporation account can all start working in synergy relative to how they will be taxed and the CRA rules surrounding each account, such as RRSPs, their tax deduction, the TFSA's tax-free growth, etc. Lastly, we have the integrated wealth framework. This is really where the rubber meets the road and where we stack and structure different accounts and investment strategies to match your various financial goals. So all of this is conceived and structured so that different accounts are earmarked for different goals and different investment strategies are applied to each bucket. The fun part is all of these buckets are kind of stacked one on top of the other so that once you reach certain short-term goals, your excess can go and flood over into the next bucket and so on until you're reaching as much as you can into your bigger, larger bucket, such as retirement. This is really when we talk about amplification, having a framework and understanding the end goal, such as providing retirement income and pumping money from these buckets back into your accounts to sustain your lifestyle into retirement. That's when clients really have that light bulb moment and start understanding why we're opening certain accounts, why we're funding certain accounts, and why we're prioritizing certain accounts as opposed to another. So everything has a sequence. Everything is structured in a way to have maximum flexibility, maximum utility, and most importantly, reflect the goals of the individual whose money will be used over time to come back to them. So the next step for anybody wanting the Onvisor Way to help them amplify their own financial result, the first thing to do is book an introduction meeting. That's where we're going to discuss where you're at currently and what does a successful financial future look like for you. We're going to begin by assessing what you currently have in place, what you should consider having in place, and where you want to head. For business owners, we'll also dive into what your succession plan is, how your business fits into the whole picture, and how we might be able to use your business as a strategic advantage in your planning. So I help clients at different stages of their financial life, from early days, helping put insurance plans in place, to later in life, helping them strategically manage their investments, structure in their investments, etc. And then there's people kind of in between where they might manage their own investments or they're not ready to start investing, etc. I also have consultation modules. I have online training. So I really am able to meet somebody where they're at and how, depending on how engaged they want to be in the process. I can help everybody from do-it-yourselfers to people who want completely hands-off and have me handle everything. So I really have a broad spectrum of offering. The first step is really just booking a meeting and figuring out where we want to head and how we want to proceed. All right. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Till next time.